Guys, so let's take a look at the action figure itself. This is the 112 Collective Mezco Arsenal action figure, out of the box, out of his plastic prison. We'll take a look at the figure first. Now this is more or less kind of a repaint of the Green Arrow action figure by Mezco's in 112 Collective line. There are some subtle changes though, like aside from the paint, some design wise it's a brand new head sculpt, but otherwise it's more or less the same figure. Here's Green Arrow from the same line. So it looks very similar. The only thing that they removed was for his arm guard, it doesn't cover his bicep, or doesn't have the bicep padding or the bicep armor. Other than that, his shirt sleeve is a lot shorter, and a brand new head sculpt for the Roy Harper look. But other than that, more or less it's the same figure. There are some subtle changes though, like for his paint job, they used a more metallic-y red as opposed to Green Arrow's more flat, worn down, matted green, which is kind of a nice design touch, I think, because this is a nice metallic-y red and it's kind of flashy, something Roy Harper would use, whereas Green Arrow's more kind of run down, beaten up, kind of simple color scheme for his green is very much in line with that character. But other than that, it's the same figure with the head sculpt. My thoughts on the head sculpt is, first, even from pictures, I wasn't a big fan of it. Even kind of in certain shots of it now, when I'm looking at it, still not the biggest fan. I was actually thinking of getting a extra DC Universe Classics head and just kind of popping that off and then putting it on this one. But once I got it and I played around with him, and of course with his hood on, it doesn't really matter. He looks really good when his hood is on. So I think I'm just going to be keeping it as is. His hood, for those of you who don't have the Green Arrow figure, has a wire right here. So you could actually use that for poses and whatnot. That's a really nice touch. But other than that, his head sculpt is okay. The more you look at it, the better it gets, I guess. You just kind of get used to it. My thing with it though, like why I didn't initially like it, is this is supposed to be Roy Harper, and he kind of looks older than Green Arrow. He looks older than Oliver Queen, which is kind of weird. I don't know, I think it's just like the shape of his head and just like a bunch of age lines on him. He just looks a little bit older than he should be. But with his hood on, it doesn't really matter. Some other cool features on this figure is he has fabric clothing for his pants, which is standard for Mezco's 112 Collective line. Nice kind of fake leather for his coat. Nice details on his quiver. Nice little pieces throughout. There's like leather straps. Actual working zipper on his suit, which is crazy. And he has a bunch of accessories and alternate hands, so we'll take a look at that. But before we do, let's take a look at the bottom part of his accessory box. And it comes with this really cool stand, arm for his stand, and a 112 Collective kind of accessory bag. It's like a little Ziploc bag where you can keep all his accessories, which is always super cool. So now that we've taken a look at his accessories, we'll run down his articulation really quickly, and then we'll take a look at his accessories. So his articulation, you look up that much, look down that much, side to side. Put his arms up that much. Go far that back. Very careful because this is an expensive figure. Rotate his arms all the way. Swivel at the bicep. Double elbow. Swivel at the wrist. And he does have interchangeable hands, so it's very, very movable. He could twist his waist like so. He cannot do the splits, and probably shouldn't push it because you don't want to tear his spandex pants or his leggings. He can kick that far forward, that far back, which is pretty impressive. And feeling it out, double D, swivel just below the knee, and very little movement at the ankle. So very standard 112 collective articulation. He moves very well. His joints feel movable but not stiff, with the fear of breaking it, but he could hold a pose pretty well. He doesn't feel cheap by any means articulation wise. And overall, he moves well enough, but not as well as certain lines and certain action figures. But for the poses that this character would be doing, we don't need something super crazy articulated like Spider-Man poses. Any pose that you would want an archer to be in, he'll probably hit it. So anyway, let's move on to the accessories part of the review. Alright, so the accessories he comes with are, he has a kind of bunched up arrows thing, so he can put it in his quiver. There we go. He has a whole bunch of hands. So his hands that he comes with is these drawstring pulling hands. Hand release, string release hands. Grabby hands. All of these come in pairs, so he has left and right for each of these. So here's the other grabby hand. And a grabbing cupping hand, where he can hold his knife, because he comes with a knife. That's a cool looking knife, because they did a really good job with it, paint wise. You can see it's painted multiple colors. Nice metallic-y silver, gunmetal, and then black on the handle. So that's a really nice look. And it could actually go on his back. It can go right there, which is really cool. Some different arrows. Here's his bow. More arrows. So when you're an archer and your name is Arsenal, you can never have enough too many arrows. Single arrow and a trick arrow. So there you go, guys. That's the 112 Collective Arsenal action figure. Very simple action figure, very cool design. Comes with a buttload of accessories, different hands, different arrows. Really nice figure. One of my favorites. Glad I own it. And the cool thing about this bow is it actually functions. I don't know if you saw that, but you can put it on to your bow. Since the string is actually real, there's actually little wedges for the back of it. You could actually throw it on, fire your bows and arrows. So anyway, there we go. Nice detail for this action figure. Nice color scheme. Nice paint job. Cool design. The head sculpt is kind of weird because he does look a little bit older, but overall, with his hood on and his wired hood, which is a nice touch, it is pretty cool. It's an awesome figure. Really glad that I have this figure. Big fan of the character, and this is a previews exclusive 112 collective figure, and it is very cool. Check it out if you guys are interested in the character or completing. This is definitely a figure worth having in your collection, in my mind. So there you go, guys. That's my review of the 112 Collective Arsenal action figure, the previews exclusive. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.